Hey everyone, I'm Patrick Mealey with Chinatti Realty here with my good friend Leo Turco with Evolve Trust and Bank. Thank you, Leo, for joining me today. And today we're going to talk about the Mass Housing Program and Down Payment Assistance Program. Leo,
Yeah.
thanks for joining me.
Well, thanks for having me on here. It's great to see you and great to provide some education together.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit more about Mass Housing and kind of like the product you offer.
Yeah, so Mass Housing is known as an HFA, which is a housing financing agency. And many of these are available in each individual state. But Mass Housing specifically helps bridge the gap of home ownership by providing down payment assistance that can be applied towards down payment or closing costs. So it really bridges the gap in capital, which
Okay,
is one of the most biggest challenges for people when they buy.
absolutely. That's fantastic. Now, is there a certain limit to how much down payment assistance people can get for their down payment and their closing costs?
Yes, so they have specific amounts that people can get access to. So there's some changes that just kind of went into effect. So on the one end of the programs, you can get as much as 30,000 in assistance.
Okay,
And there's income restrictions, and then if you make over a specific income amount, but under the next level, the assistance changes to 25,000.
okay, 25, 30,000. That's still a decent amount though. Pretty
I
good.
mean, it's pretty good, considering the average, the minimum down payment for a first-time home buyer is 3% of the purchase price,
Yeah.
right? So if we're in this kind of where we are with $500,000-600,000 being, kind of that entry-level home
Mm-hmm.
for a single family now, right? 3% of five is 15,000.
Yeah.
Average closing cost is around 9 to 10, so it's enough to really buy with spending minimal.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, are there any strings attached? So is this a loan, a grant? Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, very great question. A really important question. So, on the kind of the primary level of their first program, known as WFA 4.0, it provides $30,000 of assistance if your household makes under a certain income level. And that income level tends to be 80% of the average median income. So
Okay.
what does that mean? It's just it's the lowest income level to qualify for the program. So in certain counties, it's 70,000. Other counties, it's 89,000, right? So it's not a significant income, but it's that first level. And that 30,000 of assistance comes at is a loan.
Mm-hmm.
So that answers question number one, right? But the loan is a 0% interest rate,
Okay.
and there's no monthly repayments required, but repayment is required upon selling the property or refinancing the mortgage.
Okay.
So I always tell clients, envision having a grandmother that's like, hey, here's $30,000 to buy a house. I'm not going to charge you interest. You don't have to pay me back monthly. But if you ever sell or refinance, just give me my money back.
Okay.
So that's that first level.
Okay.
Right?
Well, Nana, did you hear that?
Yeah. The second version, right, is if you make over that first income level, but you make under the second level. And the second level goes as high as like 162, so 162,000 a year.
Okay.
So it's not low income,
Yeah.
right? It's just different levels of income. That 25,000 is also a loan, but it's charged a 2% interest rate.
Okay.
And you are required to pay it back monthly over the term of 15 years. It calculates to about like $168 a month
Okay.
or so.
168 a month.
Yeah, don't quote me on that, but like something around there.
Okay, and that's if you use the full 25,000 down payment assistance at 2% interest rate, right? Over
Correct.
15 years. Now, can you could you use $10,000 instead? Do you have to use the full 25 or 30, or can you use
You
less?
would use the full 25.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
So it's an all or nothing
It's all or
type of
nothing.
deal.
Yeah, and the beauty of it is that it just kind of reduces what comes out of your pocket.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the most important things to consider when you take on home ownership is retaining your liquidity, right? If you spend every penny you have to buy a home, major shift in budget, now you own a home and you have a new housing payment, like how are you going to save?
Yeah.
Like what's your ability to resave, right? So what happens to a lot of people is they'll buy a home, they'll liquidate their savings and become illiquid, right? They'll have no liquidity. And then all of a sudden, I need a new water heater or I need to furnish the place. And where do people go next?
To tap in their equity.
They tap into their debt.
Yeah.
Right? So then they start to add credit card balances. So retaining capital and not spending all your money is important because it provides safety, security. It provides access to money before having to get access to debt.
Okay, that's awesome. So the $30,000 option, you repay when you sell the home.
Correct.
Is there a time limit? Let's say you own the home for 30 years. You repay after those 30 years, or at some point will Mass Housing be like, it's been 10 years, repay us?
No, so it aligns with the main mortgage.
Okay.
So if you pay off the main mortgage, you have to pay back that 30,000.
Okay.
Right. So paying off that main mortgage means you've sold the home.
Yeah.
You've refinanced the mortgage and paid it off.
I see.
We have a little guest here. Right. And then if you keep the mortgage for 30 years and just make your regular payments, when you owe zero, you got to pay back that 30,000 as well.
Okay, awesome. Really good information to know. So as far as so median incomes is what they use to base what you qualify for with the Mass Housing Program and down payment assistance. And those are by county though. They're not by town or city.
It breaks it down, right? So here's the important thing, right? Is to work with an expert that knows the programs.
Yeah.
Because it does vary by county, and then within the county there is variations by city as well.
Okay.
So you can use this program for anywhere you want in Massachusetts, but the income qualification limit, like how much can you make to qualify, what's the most you can make, will vary by county and then broken down by city as well.
Okay, awesome. You mentioned working with an expert. You're kind of an expert, right? Aren't you? You're on a special list with Mass Housing?
Yeah, I mean, we work hard to help people. So we've accomplished becoming one of the top mass housing lenders in the state. So if you go to Mass Housing's website and search for lenders to connect with, we are one of the ones that are listed on there. And it's not the company our company is listed as well, of course, Evolve Bank and Trust, but us as an individual, Leo Turco, like I'm one of the preferred recommended lenders for Mass Housing.
Okay, fantastic. And that's a really short list of people to be on too.
It is a short list, and it's not a pay for, it's nothing. It's all about if you've helped a certain number of families, you're a top lender in that category.
Okay, awesome. So if anyone has any questions about Mass Housing down payment assistance, Leo here is your guy to go to get all of your questions answered and help you with your family's particular situation.
Yeah, and Patrick's the guy to go to help you negotiate and find the place that you're looking for.
I appreciate that, Leo. Any other information on Mass Housing that you feel is important for people to know?
I would say that the important thing is that the process does not create any longer timeline. So I think in our industry on the list agent side, there's some misconceptions.
Yeah.
Right. That if somebody is going with a mass housing program or some type of specialized program, that it's going to delay the timeline of their seller. It's not. It's basically just a highlight of a regular mortgage program. So it all works the same, right? You still have to qualify based on income, credit. So the process of pre-approval qualifying is no different. We're just analyzing the income calculations to see if you fit into this bucket and can get extra stuff.
Okay, awesome, fantastic. Well, guys, if you have any questions, Leo's here to help you. I'm here to help you. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.